Week 3, Rocket League. We've had one match already. Brilliant game. Infused versus Endpoint. And joining me on the desk right now, I had a little bit of a joke with you early on about the shirts. But gentlemen, so delightful to see you. And yes, Cole, showing off a bit of that chest. We love that. Look at that. Thank you. I'm also joined by Shogun as well.
I regret that immediately.
Let's talk about that last match. Great match, very entertaining overtime. What do you see happening with Method versus Prophecy? Another team undefeated so far, Prophecy. Do you think they're going to get this 3-0?
No. Method is a team we actually expected to defeat Infused last week, and they didn't perform. And it's become a running theme for them in terms of they've struggled to really pick it up when actually in a LAN setting. I'm not going to say when the stakes are high because they have managed to perform in that case, but in a LAN setting they do struggle. I'm hoping now that they've started to get more experience with it, they're going to start playing better because they should be a team that should be challenging for first, second, and they're currently 0-2. Now, they had a different roster in for the first week, but last week they took on possibly the other team that should be first or second. Now they need to start setting up a win streak.
I mean, fantastic players. We were expecting big things from the likes of Magnus and the Mets. I'm just going to say Mets. It's easier to say that.
The Finland duo.
The Finland duo. Those boys, with Flame as well. We expected them to win, but they were a little bit jittery, weren't they? They just didn't come out with their A game.
I mean, we all saw it last week. That was a heck of a series between them and Infused. Went all the way up to Game 5. It was ridiculous. That was a game that could have gone either way, but they'll be looking at this game this week and just going, you know what, we should really win this.
Yeah. Okay, and what about yourself, Cole? Full chest Cole.
I like that nickname. It's one of the nicest ones I've had in my life.
Full chest Cole. How are you seeing this one going today? Will Method come out, guns blazing, and maybe stop the Prophecy run?
Probably. Method are probably going to be confident. As you said, Shogun, they lost to Infused last week, but it was such a good, close series. And Infused, now 3 wins and no losses, are looking like the team to beat so far. So Method could put that behind them and just look to show what they can do against a Prophecy team who themselves are, they're all talented players. They're all very, very good players. I'm sure we'll see some good goals from both sides. There will be passages of play where both teams look like the better one on the balance of it, but I think Method are going to win. Now,
if we look at that Method team, you've got Magnus, Mets, and Flame. What do we know about Flame in terms of his all-round ability?
He's another one of those players, and we've seen it with quite a few of these players that we've seen come in. He is another bubble player, one of those players that is struggling to try and make their break in. He will be replacing a lot this week, who is probably one of the key figures on that Method team. So he's got very big boots to fill, but as we've seen with a lot of these bubble players that have been subbing in, like we saw last week from ignite, it is very possible to really step up and perform at this level.
And definitely cement your place. Oh, so okay then, these two Finnish lads, we saw them last week. The goals they were scoring were brilliant, but what makes them so dynamic, these two Finnish players?
It's a combination of speed and being able to perform the same way they do up there as they do online. We saw it in the Infused game just now, where some miss-hits were coming in from players that you wouldn't in a million years expect to miss-hit it. That, to me, is proof that there is real pressure up there compared to at home. So if these teams can play how they know they can play, to me, that's a huge, huge thing. And they seem to be so far.
And this is some of the action from Method versus Team Infused. Some great goals were going in. It was end-to-end, like you said, Shogun. But brilliant stuff from them.
It really was, and you have to look at it right now. We've now seen Infused play a trio of times, and they are the only team so far to take not only just one game from them, but 2. Everyone else got swept immediately. So Method have had the best performance against the best team so far in the Gfinity Elite Series, so they can take something from that. They really can. You have to look at this right now. There is a lot riding in terms of what they can both achieve. Method, 0-2, had the substitute team in week 1, lost to current #1 seed Infused in week 2. They have to win. They cannot afford to go 0-3. They now need to turn this around. However, on the other side for Prophecy, a win over Method really propels them towards a top 2 finish.
I love it when you break it down, Shogun. Let's look at Prophecy just for a second. It feels all serious. You're like a teacher. I love it. This is the Prophecy lineup in front of us today. Hello. And then we got Flaki and Mummy Snow. What do we know about Hello?
Hello is actually a player I am a little bit familiar with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from a darker time that I had in terms of like a joke group.
Okay,
That
do you want to talk about it? Is this okay?
No one ever talks about the Weeb Nation.
Okay.
Oh my.
And we heard the crowd right there just go, none of that.
Okay. So a little bit of a dark horse potentially. Hello today, offering Prophecy something that they can work with, an unknown quantity that Method think they've got it in the bag, but maybe he just turns up and just gives them something else that they didn't have last week. Could that be a possibility?
It's going to be his first time, I think, playing on a stage. And this is going to be really, really difficult because he is taking on a very, very strong team. So it's a case of mentally, players either go one of two ways. They either go, oh God, all of the pressure. It's that same thing as like taking the penalty kick in a World Cup final. You either step up to it or you are forced into it. Does Hello feel forced into this? Or does he think to himself, you know what, I've got nothing to lose here. I might as well just go for it.
Yeah.
I was going to say the difference between this and a penalty in the World Cup final. In the World Cup final, you walk 50 feet forwards before taking your shot. This time, for Hello, he'll have Mummy Snow and Flarkey next to him, and it's up to them to take some of that pressure off and say, look, man, you can do this. We've been playing together for however long. You know, it's up to them to keep him confident as well, so it's not all on him.
Okay, well listen, gentlemen, it's going to be a great match. We've got Method versus Team Prophecy is our next match. And based on what we've seen of them so far, it should be a cracker.
Aerial shot there from Flark. Crucial for Method.
Ridiculous turn of events.
That's a really, really big goal.
Look at that, it gets shaky at the end. I'm very excited about this. For Method, we have got Metz, we've got Magnus, and we've got Flame. And for Prophecy, we've got Flarkey, Mummy Snow, and Hello. We can welcome them down to this very stage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here they go! Hey!
I just need to come to you guys in front here because these are rocking a look. How are we doing, Metz and Norris? How are we doing?
I'm doing well, man.
What's with the hat? Is this a lucky charm or is it just a new look that you're trialing?
This is my streaming hat.
It's your swimming hat.
My streaming hat.
Is it because I mentioned the top knot last week?
Maybe. I didn't understand the question last week, so now I'm not even showing my hair.
Okay, going to slide over this way to Flarkey. Tiara, why?
I just use it all the time when I play, and then I promise to wear it if you wore the hat.
Oh, so this is like a double dealing. So are you going to have to rock his hat if he beats you? Is that what's going to happen?
No, that's his thing. This is my thing.
I'd really like to see him wear the tiara, though, so can we make that happen?
No.
No. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much for that, guys. Just going to come back here. Mummy Snow, how are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah? We've got a lot riding on this match because Method, well, they've not really been performing as well as many people say they would. Do you think you've got it in you to beat them today?
We both have a sub, so it's kind of who's the best sub, so we'll see.
Amazing. Well, guys, you need to go and get yourselves ready. Go head up back those stairs, get comfy, get ready, because Tom, we're ready to play, aren't we?
We are indeed. I'll tell you what, wouldn't that be incredible if we had a hat off? Listen, you've seen the gentlemen, they've come down, they look very confident, there's a lot of banter there, a lot of jokes. Who are you putting your money on in this matchup today? Shogun?
Well, I'm 7-0 for the season so far, actually 8-0 after that last game. But I'm going to go with Envious on this one. They might be the team that's 0-2, but I do believe that they are the stronger team in this matchup.
Okay, and what about yourself?
I'm thinking Methods 3-1.
Okay, Method 3-1 on that
Oh,
one.
I said Envious, didn't I?
You did indeed say Envious, but I thought you could have jumped forward if you wanted.
I am predicting Envious later, okay? Let's go with that one as well, but yeah, Method.
You've given too much away, Shogun. Listen, there are the predictions.
We've got Envious on the screen. Oh, they changed it. They were ready, production. I'm impressed.
Enough from you, Shogun. We need to throw over to the two gentlemen that were on this table just a moment ago on set. And the first time out on the lovely stage, Gregan, how are you doing, sir?
We are doing wonderfully. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome to the Elite Series. Welcome to the Gfinity Arena. How are you feeling about this match coming up?
I'm looking forward to it, but I just want to bring attention. If Shogun had lost his first bet on who was going to win based off of picking a team that wasn't even playing.
Yeah, I think this
would
is
have been
void.
a shame.
Everything up till this point is now void. Another question I wanted to ask you before we get into this series is who is going to win, the princess or the human helicopter that we saw in front of us?
So those are in-game toppers, and they both have always kind of associated themselves with it. As Metzenora said, he wears that when he streams. It's his lucky hat. And they were talking last week after the event, saying, should we bring it along? They are doing it. They're obviously getting more confident, and that's a big point to make, because Method last week mentioned that the stage really affected their performance. It made them a little bit nervous. So hopefully that confidence coming in now, a bit more relaxed.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Method. I mean, a lot of you guys were saying before the tournament started, they were going to be the tournament favourites, as we do see game #1 getting underway in the background. Now they've got a couple of weeks LAN experience under their belt. They're feeling a little bit more comfortable. Do you think we're going to see that performance come through in their gameplay today?
I mean, I really hope so, because they perform so beautifully. When you watch them play at their best, it's so fast. And I want to see how Flame can deal with Magnus and Metz's speed of play, because it is probably one of the fastest in Rocket League at the moment. That's something they aim for.
Well, Flocky is going to be pushing that one up, but Metzenora is going to clear that one away. With the long clearance, we see Hello back here. The new player, of course, here for Prophecy, filling in as a sub this week. Going to be pushing that one back into midfield, but that ball going to be contested. Flarky going to push that one forward towards the corner. Snow is in the corner trying to find that one, but Flark is going to be there. The ball going to be loose at the moment. Flarky pushing this one back towards the Method goal. Metzenora with the pass out here to Flame, the new player here for Method. And what do you think is this going to be a battle of the two substitutes that's coming in this week? We see both of the teams having new players. Is that going to affect both these rosters?
I think how well they defend is the most important. Magnus trying to do something off the backboard there, almost working out, but it is a bit of a slow start. So the subs tend to come into a team and play that third-man role. They sit further back and try and defend a bit more. And it will depend on which of them does that better as to who concedes the less goals. But at the moment, Flame's looking pretty confident going forward, so perhaps they're just going to go for a three-man rotation and really attack as a unit.
Mongus here trying to push this one across, but nobody is going to be there for the guys on Method. They're back on the rotation. Then possession change over here into the hands of Prophecy. They're pushing this one forward, but Magnus does make the save at the last moment there. Pressure is coming in here from Method. Prophecy pushed this one back round, but Flame is going to get the clearance.
Yeah, we're noticing in that attack there as they had someone just drive in front of the ball and not try and make a shot themselves, and that allowed the demo as Metz shot.
Metz finds the first goal of this match. It's going to be him with a fantastic finish, as we saw a little bit of a misplay there as Magnus passed that one off the backboard. Metz arriving, and a fantastic finish there, Gregan. 1-0 to Method, a strong start for this squad.
Yeah, Flarky just missed touching that back into the middle, allowing them to shoot. And Mummy Snow had confidence in his teammate, so pushed out of his net, where had he expected that touch, he would have sat on that back post and might have been able to come and intercept that pass. But one mistake, as earlier Shogun mentioned, the domino effect, one mistake leads to another, gets everyone out of position, and they do concede the first goal.
So Method take the lead in this game. As we mentioned before, definitely a team that people were expecting to be near the top of the table. They actually find themselves at the opposite end at the moment. They're currently 0-2, but some strong performances even in those games they have lost. Let's see if they can turn it around this week and get the first on the board, and Magnus is going to roll that one across the line there. Method find themselves 2-0 up with 2 minutes 30 left on the board. Method just pushing that one into the oncoming Magnus there. 2 players overcommitting for it. That's going to be 2-0 to Method.
Hello just choosing the wrong route out of defense, coming across Magnus, who pile drove that one into the goal. But it was Mummy Snow that also was mistaken by trying to get involved in that challenge. It looked like there was a lack of confidence in his teammate Hello. Had he stayed at that back post again, then he would have been able to connect with it. So Mummy Snow perhaps not feeling so happy with his teammate's performance at the moment and trying to do too much himself.
We almost saw that one rolling towards goal there, but find the post and was managed to be cleared away by Method, who are going to be on the attack now. The Prophecy are back on the rotation. Going to be able to clear this one away. Mummy Snow's going to be challenging this one, but here comes Metzenera pushing that one towards the corner, but Hello is there once again. So see Magnus up to push that one back towards the Prophecy goal. Flocky trying to get the clearance there and does so. Demo does come in. That ball's going to be cleared once again towards the corner. A couple of long clearances we're seeing here.
Yeah, and clearing does get you out of your own half, but it often gives away possession. The best way to clear out at this level is to look for a teammate who's nearby, and then they can get the longer clear with that change of direction, and it puts off the defense of your opposition, allowing you to be aggressive and try and regain that possession in their half.
And possession at the top level of Rocket League becoming more and more important, Greg. And talk to us a little bit about how important ball retention can be in Rocket League.
Well, if you take the ball out of your half, rather than clearing it long and giving it away, you can often draw players in, make them commit in your half, use up their boost, and then you're behind them. And once you get past your opposition, you then have the ability to pass and get past that last 1 or 2 defenders and almost guarantee a goal, where otherwise you're just trying to force it through gaps that might not be existing.
53 seconds left on the clock as we see the pressure coming in from Method once again. A pass off the backboard. Magnus is up and it's going to hit the post. Following up here by Flarky, but Flame, apologies, cannot convert that one. But Messinores is going to be there as we see a couple of mistakes coming in once again from Prophecy, not managing to get that one clear. Method taking advantage. That's going to be 3-0.
Yeah, Hello did very well on his own, trying to waste time to get his teammates back, but Flarky just not able to get on that ball in time. And Messinores and Magnus just being so aggressive, trying to get involved in every challenge, not allowing that free clear, free pass out of defense.
Well, here comes Magnus again as that ball came back off the backboard. Once again, Hello going to be getting the clearance upfield. A little bit of pressure relief here for Prophecy. Ball play back in. Flarky can't quite get up to that one. Messinores is going to be able to potentially clear this one away and start a counter-attack here for Method. But at this point in the game, with just 20 seconds left on the clock, Gregan, Method just going to be looking to run this clock down.
I wouldn't be surprised if Method score another one from an overcommitment from Prophecy. Oh,
lovely pass.
Take that back. Prophecy managed to outplay the solo defense there. Flarky with a great little dribble.
Fantastic pass at the end. Very unselfish play as we see it played across. And there is Hello, the new boy on the squad, just to put that one back in for the guys on Prophecy. So they get a little consolation with just 12 seconds left.
It's doable.
3-1 up.
Is doable.
Long time in Rocket League, Gregan.
Yes, because off the kickoff, if they get a goal and there's time still left on the clock, all they have to do is keep it up in the air. So a goal now could make it happen. Don't think that's going to be possible.
Messinores is going to try and find another one. Magnus is up. Are they going to get another one before the buzzer goes? No, they are not, as that hits the floor. Method are going to take game number 1 here, Gregan. Fantastic performance from them. Prophecy coming into it a little bit towards the end, but you've got to say, Method dominant in that one.
Yeah, and it was down to how well Flame fits into that team. He didn't try and do too much himself. He knows he's amongst great players like Magnus and Metz, who are super aggressive, and that aggression really paid off there, because Prophecy found themselves on the back foot quite a lot. And when you're on the back foot with 2 players charging towards you, you've got to try and find a way to outplay them, and they just couldn't work that out. If they adapt now, and rather than trying to just get it out of their half quickly, instead try and just do those little touches to move them apart like Flarky did towards the end there,
yep,
then they might be able to get past a few players and then go on to score a goal. It sounds so easy when you say it like that, but it won't be as possible. We're going to get a chance to see some replays now, and some of those Method goals weren't the most pretty, but they certainly got it towards the goal. A few mistakes on the side of Prophecy.
That was one thing I was going to mention. We have seen a lot of goals so far in these first, in that first series we saw today, and obviously in this second series so far. A couple of mistakes coming in which are leading to the goals. Not so much the flashy, fantastic plays and the passing plays, those solo efforts, more mistakes. Do you think that's a little bit of nerves coming in, or do you just think that's something else maybe, Greg?
Mistakes happen when you're under pressure, and for a few of these players on stage right now, they're not so familiar with the pressure. And we mentioned the subs. They're both here. Hello, this is his first time here. He might be feeling it. He did actually play reasonably well. He only had that one major mistake we saw which led to a goal. But I think it's up to his teammates Flarky and Mummy Snow to give the confidence to him to be able to play well. And subs don't just make the sub play badly, they also can often affect your teammates. And that he is trying to replace Sniper. And Sniper is such a good player.
Such a strong player. And we've seen that so far in the Elite Series. He really has been one of the standout players for this Prophecy team, of course, who currently do have a 2-0 record. So they've shown they can play some Rocket League in this series so far. As we see, game number 2 is already underway on your screens at home, as well as everyone here in the arena as well. Magnus is going to get the long clear here as Hello. It's flying in. Magnus going to get the clear here. Flarky is going to be back on the rotation here, though, however. Sonora's trying to push this one back into the middle. Doesn't look like anyone from Method is going to be committing to that one.
Oh, that's on net.
Defense, but is there anyone there to stop it? No, there isn't, and there is the man you were talking about there, Greg. And Hello, getting his second goal of this series so far, and the first goal of this game. Prophecy find themselves 1-0 up.
It was a misdirected play. I don't know who that was. It was Magnus or Flame on the side of Method who redirected that towards their own net. And it was because of the fact Hello's clear was so powerful. It's tough to strike the ball that well on a defensive aerial, but he managed to get behind that ball so cleanly that it outplayed the Method player who's trying to send it straight back.
So Prophecy, a strong start for them, as we said previously. Currently 2-0 in the Elite Series. But here comes Metanoris, doesn't quite get the dunk there that he was looking for off the backboard. Prophecy showing that they are going to come out swinging in this second game. They are 1-0 down in the series, however. Mummy with the shot on goal here. Flame going to be clearing that one away. Flarky trying to push this one back into the middle. Mummy arriving here. Is there anyone on the follow-up here for Prophecy? Nope, Flarky trying to make something happen, but...
There we go. That aggression, we just saw it. Every single time that ball starts getting towards the midfield, there is a player on Prophecy trying to put it straight back in the middle. And all this is doing is it's grinding down Method. They do eventually get a strong clear with that pass out of defense we mentioned before, but this is much more aggressive, and that's what I want to see from Prophecy. Match Method.
And as you say, that long clearance, once again, just rotating the possession back over to Prophecy momentarily. Pressure really starting to show here on Method in this second game. Long way to go, though. 3 minutes 12 still left on the clock. Magnus is going to go up to challenge that one. Ball is cleared towards the corner, though. Magnus, though, does manage to tie things up here for Method. Finding himself with a free shot on goal there. Yeah, that player decided to go for the boost, but Magnus took advantage of that. Fantastic finish from him.
Flarky found that there was no boost back at home, so he went upfield to go collect it, and his 2 teammates committed during that time, and he wasn't able to get back. Magnus, recognizing that gap, shoots it off the wall, and that puts the score back to a level playing field. Method have really upped their aggression at this point. And it seems to be a bit of a back and forth. One team is in aggressive play, the other one trying to get it out of their half, and as soon as they get a strong clear like this right now, it seems to switch the other way.
Prophecy going to be pushing this one back towards the Method side of the pitch, back to that blue half, but is now Method. And that first goal from Prophecy really seems to have lit a bit of a fire under them at the moment. They have come flying back into this game. Seems like the pressure is coming from Method. Pass out to Metanoris, trying to redirect that one back into Magnus, but not quite managing to make that one work. Flame going with the dribble at the moment, trying to fake this player out, but no. Prophecy wise to that one.
So dribbles aren't always that effective at scoring, but what they often do is they bring in multiple players to try and challenge it. And same with air dribbles as well, if you carry it while you're flying. And a lot of people underrate how important it is. That's a missed open net by Mummy Snow, though.
Ooh, that could come back to bite them. An opportunity there. Magnus does make the save, though, as that shot does come in. Now it's Prophecy. He seemed to be putting the pressure back on Method. Here comes Magnus, goes off the backboard. Nobody there, though. Hello doing a good job, though, to contest that one, making that as difficult as possible for that Method player who was arriving. Mummy Snow now going to be pushing this one. We're on board of Hello, then the new player for Prophecy. He's going to be up for this one. He's pushing this one back. Let's get another touch on it. Oh, my word! Hello!
Hello.
Hello! Making something happen. The new player from Prophecy, adding a bit of flair to his game.
Oh, that's great adaptation right there. He went up for the aerial, accidentally went too high and just said, do you know what, I can land on this ball.
Make this happen.
And then he fell down on it. The player on Method in defense did not see that as a possibility. And I think everyone else was expecting the solo defense to be able to deal with that because it didn't look threatening. And then suddenly from out of nowhere, that ball snuck underneath and went towards the goal.
Prophecy 2-1 up in the series now. Hello starting to come to life. And we talked a little bit about confidence. You mentioned in that first game, maybe his teammates... Hello back on the rotation there, just as we were talking about. I was saying, maybe Mummy Snow and Flarky, maybe not having that trust in that first game, but he's really showing his value to this team at the moment.
Yeah, and one big point to make with subs is you often see double commits. 2 teammates aren't familiar with each other, will see the ball and think, I can get this, but they're not expecting their teammates to go. And it's not been so apparent at this stage with Hello. He's really finding himself space on the pitch and utilizing his mechanics.
45 seconds left on the clock at the moment. Once again, it seems like Prophecy are the ones who are trying to put the pressure on this Method side of the pitch. They really have adapted well in this second game. They're looking to tie the series up at 1-1. Long clearance comes in. Flame trying to pass this one out to Mummy Snow, but it's going to be pushed away. Mummy Snow going to be back on the rotation here for Prophecy. 23 seconds left. Shot does come in.
Good pass.
Trying to make the pass, as you say. Flame is there off the backboard. Is anyone there? No, there is nobody arriving there for Method.
Aggressive.
As you say, Greg, in 10 seconds left, it's all or nothing right now. Metanoris does put that one back into the center, but it's going to be Prophecy who cleared that one away. There is an open net, but nobody is there. 1 second left. Ball still in the air, however. Flarky does knock that one back in. Method desperately trying to keep this one up. Can they make something magical happen? All Prophecy have got to do is drop this one down to the floor. Mummy Snow is up.
Good read, Metanoris still going.
Still up in the air. Magnus trying to make something happen. The long-range shot does hit the floor, though. Prophecy are going to tie this one up at 1-1. We've got a series on our hand here, Gregan.
This is evenly matched right here. Mummy Snow and Flarky evenly matched up against their rivals, Magnus and Metanoris. And then the subs have come in and stepped up their game to match these two teams. But as you mentioned, they aren't as even in the whole Gfinity Elite Series. It is Method who are currently 0-2, where Prophecy have got that 2-0 match win so far. So Prophecy feeling like they've got the more comfortable position, but during this match it's been completely even. And one thing to notice is most of the goals are mistakes. And if they cut out these mistakes, don't let in a single goal. Like the last series, we might go into a 0-0 overtime, but they need to be a bit more creative in offense to be able to outplay them if that does happen, because the defense has been the reason the teams are losing and not the offense the reason they're winning.
Absolutely, and I think we could maybe attribute that a little bit to that first game jitters. We saw more mistakes in that first game. We saw it in the first series as well. These guys are starting to get a little bit more comfortable on this stage. We can see the guys on Prophecy there just having a little bit of a chat between games. That's always good to see. Obviously, they've won that game. Their confidence is going to be up. On the other side, you almost want to see that from the guys on Method as well. Maybe just having a chat.
Tiara.
That Tiara, man. I mean, we're going to have to step our game up in next week, I think. We're going to have to bring a few props ourselves. But game number 3 is getting underway. The series is tied up between Method and Prophecy at 1-1. A best of 5, of course, Gregan. Who do you see this series going to at this point?
To be honest, I would have backed Method beforehand because of the fact Magnus and Metanoris are such strong players.
The block coming in from Magnus.
That was
reading
incredible.
that one perfectly.
Just see him touching this down, and it looked like he gave away possession, but he followed through, readjusted his car, and turned the roof and the side of his car towards where Flarky was clearing to make sure it was a strong touch towards the net. So Method starting well, not due to a crazy play, but a good read by Magnus.
A fortuitous play, you could say. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill involved in that one, making sure he put himself in the best position possible.
Oh, this is a chance
to make something happen. As you say, a chance here immediately coming for Prophecy, but it is Method who are back and managing to defend that one. Mummy Snow pushing this one upfield now. Another long clearance we see. That's going to be challenged by Magnus, but an important touch there coming in from that Prophecy player. I believe it was Hello once again. Does miss that one as it's pushed upfield, but Mummy Snow is back. Ball in the corner at the moment. Here comes Flarky. He's going to push this one towards goal. Here comes Hello as well with the aerial, but Flame there to put the flames out on that attack there for the guys from Prophecy.
I'm noticing the players are getting in good positions to receive passes, but they're just mistouching it in the direction of their teammates. So it means they're not able to get consecutive passes in flow. And with that being the case, every chance on offense seems to be dissolved pretty quickly because defensively these guys aren't doing anything too crazy.
Ball can be cleared away by Flarky. Sorry, Flarky pushing this one back into the middle. Metanoris going to clear this one away again. Hello on the follow-up though. One touch here from Flame, just getting that one away from danger towards that corner once again. I'm just going to be challenged here by Magnus. Here comes Flarky, pushing this one back in, but Metanoris is there. Once again to just push this one away from Method. Defensively, in this game, you have to say Method look pretty good at this point.
Yeah, they're rotating back well, and they're also keeping possession. You've seen a couple of touches back towards their own backboard, and you'd think that's crazy. It's almost like shooting. But actually, if you do a bad shot, every player is ready for a shot. So if you do a bad one, then they can be defended. But Magnus comes in and gets his second goal of the game here.
Magnus arriving with style on that one. We can see here that ball coming off the backboard. Magnus arriving
so fast.
Smashing that one in the back of the net, as you say. Incredibly quick play coming in from him. Method find themselves 2-0 up at the moment. And to me, Gregan, it looks like they're starting to click a little bit right now.
They are, and when you see Magnus moving at supersonic speed, you've got to be scared, because he knows what he's doing when moving that fast. Flame with the predictive save there, so important. And I think Flame and Hello have both put on a great performance, considering their subs coming in this week. Oh, what a touch.
Touch there from that player, and here comes the... Oh, Metanoris finishes that one off. A fantastic team play coming in there from Method. Greg, and I know that one got you excited here on the desk. Break that one down a little bit for the people at home.
Flame just getting underneath that ball, sliding it forward, taking a player out of the game, and then because Magnus and Metsonoris had faith in their teammate, they came in rushing, and they got a simple off-the-backboard pass and finished it home. Method now 3-0 ahead. It's very tough to come back from that, especially with only half the game left.
Yeah, at this point, Prophecy, they know they've got to commit. They know they've got to get back into this game, and that is just going to leave opportunities for this Method team, who really are starting to roll in this series at the moment. You can see Prophecy trying to get an instant response, trying to put the pressure back on Method, but at 3-0, 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. They've got it all to do. Method, very scary when you see their passing play starting to work as well. That means they're clicking, that means they're rolling.
All Hello's through.
Hello was momentarily through, but Magnus was back on the rotation. Magnus with the shot, but that one is going to be wide. Sonora's going to be pushing this one back into the middle. Flocky with an important touch here. Mummy Snow going to be up to get that one away. Played off the roof there. Ooh, I thought Mummy Snow was going to drop on that one and push that one towards goal, but
that's important.
So
back. We saw there, Hello was left alone after his two teammates had just used all of their boost to try and do crazy aerials. They were static in the middle of the pitch. It was going to be far away for them to ever get any kind of boost. So anything Hello did had to waste a lot of time. And that's a tough thing to be putting on a substitute on the stage. You want to be able to let them move into the play comfortably without having to do crazy touches.
Well, they do his job well, as you see Hello. That's putting a solid performance here from Prophecy.
Oh, what a shot.
Here comes the shot from Flarky, making it 3-1 at the moment. Prophecy showing that they're not giving this game away just as yet. We see the pass coming in once again from Hello, making something happen for his squad.
That was
Look at this.
Flame. So Hello was there. No. It looked like it was Hello. And the reason why that was because Hello just didn't go for the challenge. He knew that if he put any kind of pressure on that ball, then Flame's touch would pinch away and it would be tough for his teammates to follow it up. So instead, backs off, lets his opposition, Flame, do a weak touch down to the middle, and that allowed the shot to come in from Flarky. So it was almost like a mind game challenge.
3-1 the score at the moment, minute left on the clock. Prophecy putting all sorts of pressure here on the Method goal. Here comes his player, but Mummy Snow is there, but there is a last-ditch clearance from that Method player. Metsonoris going to be chasing this one upfield as well. All they've got to do is keep the pressure on Mummy Snow with the save here for Prophecy, giving them an opportunity. 30 seconds left on the clock just to maybe get into this game. They do need to get something going pretty quickly at this point, as we do see that 30 seconds remaining.
Oh, good pop
up. Talking of popping up, that ball was popped up over that player.
Oh,
Prophecy.
Communication. This is what happens in pressure situations. But
Flarky brings it back within one, Gregan.
Flarky just keeping on that ball the whole time. Had a full tank of boost, so just keeps challenging. Sees that touch from Flame, reads it perfectly, sends it towards the net. And that's why, when there's not much left to go, just go full aggro. Always challenge, and something might work out in your favor. And now it's only 1 goal the difference.
The kitchen sink is being thrown by Prophecy here. They're only down by 1 at the moment. 13 seconds left on the clock. They are on the defensive at the moment, though, as Method trying to push this one towards goal. And Magnus is going to pretty much tie this one up here. 4-2 here. Prophecy trying to commit forward and make something happen. Pretty much left Magnus with an empty net.
I mean, you saw how comfortable he was with that shot. The mechanics this guy has are incredible. He's probably practiced that over and over again. And when there's no one in the net to even try and save it, it's going to be a free goal every time. And that is so common to see. Oh, I say that as Flarky just misses a completely open net that could have brought them back into the game.
Difficult to watch at that point, Gregan. It's almost as if you set him up for failure there, but we'll let you off on that one. It is going to be Method who take game number 3. They're going to go up 2-1 in the series. That was a good game, though, Gregan. That was a back-and-forth game.
Yeah, it was Method out the gate that started so strong. Magnus getting a few personal goals. Did he get a hat-trick? He did. He got 3 goals to his own name. And it was that initial dunk that he got very early on that put them in the driving seat. And once you get ahead, you can start to be super careful on defense and then just wait for those mistakes to come in and capitalize on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we mentioned last week, the importance of that first goal in any game in Rocket League. You know, you get that first goal on the board, it gives you the opportunity to let your opponent put the pressure on you and maybe suck that up and then look for those counterattacks. Is that something that you saw from Method in that game, especially towards the end when Prophecy were trying to force something?
Well, you say that. I think Prophecy have looked the best when they're down a few goals right at the end. Perhaps they should play that aggressive the whole game, because they haven't been conceding, except for that last one. They haven't been conceding when they've been putting everything into the match. So I want to see a little bit more aggression. I keep mentioning aggression, and it's because when you play against a fast team with someone like Magnus and Metz, and Flame has been matching it, you need to just keep going for that ball and make sure you don't give them space.
The thing with aggression as well is you've got to think if these players are being so aggressive, it is going to leave gaps behind. You know, you do contest those balls, you do almost match their aggression. It's going to create opportunities for you. As we see the replays on your screen as well from that last game, a fantastic last game. We thought Prophecy were finding their way back into it, as we can see the score here, 3-2. But it was towards the end there that we saw Mogdus with this final goal, I believe. Taking his time with this one, fantastic mechanics, as you mentioned, Gregan, making that one 4-2. Let's have a look at the guys on Prophecy now. They're 2-1 down in the series. What have they got to do? What have they got to change? Do you think it's just a case of matching the aggression of this Method team?
It's not just aggression. We saw Flarky at the end missing an open net. And I don't want to point out...
Never do that. Is what you're saying, isn't it? Don't miss open goals.
If you miss open goals, you're more likely to lose. It's that simple. But it's not just when you're shooting towards net. It's about finding your teammates with every touch. These players need to change their mindset of, I need to hit this ball, to, where is my teammate? I'm going to hit it there.
Game number 4 is underway, ladies and gentlemen. It's Method versus Prophecy. Let's have a little bit of noise in the crowd for game number 4 as well, hey? 2-1 up in the series, Method. Looking good at the moment, looking to get their first win on the board in the Elite Series as well. Some people's favourites for this competition before it started, not the start they would have wanted, but they are playing well in this series. They are up 2-1, but Prophecy not letting them get away with this one too easily. It's going to be Prophecy who are on the defensive at the start of this one. Mogdus is going to push that one up. Flame here, the substitute here for Method, going to take a shot on goal, but there are 2 players back here for Prophecy. Going to get the block on that one. Low up for the aerial though. This is dangerous. Mogdus is there, and Metzenarius is going to be the one who comes in and makes it 1-0 to Method. And once again, it's Method we find taking the lead in this game, Gregan.
Mogdus utilising that ceiling. It's tough to defend on the backboard when it changes direction so fast. You get a little bit of counter spin off of the ceiling, which makes it hard to read that ball. And it meant that both Mogdus and Metz probably would have been able to score that with absolutely no one around to try and block it. So utilising the ceiling is something that we're seeing more and more with these players, not just utilising the bounce of the ball on the ceiling. Hopefully, we'll get to see some of these players drive up onto the ceiling and drop down and make a touch. We haven't seen that yet today, but hopefully Method could be that one.
One thing we do see is a Mama Snow flying through the air and making that save for Prophecy. They're going to be pushing this one back upfield. And Sonoris, though, is going to be back. Let's pass across field here from Prophecy, sorry, but Mogdus, as you say, very quickly on that one. And we see that aggression here, even on the defensive side of things, coming in from Method, challenging the ball high up the pitch, forcing Prophecy into mistakes. Flock does make the save there. Sonoris is going to be back looking for that pass across goal. Here comes Mogdus, but doesn't manage to find contact on that one. Flame with the dribble away here, keeping that ball in their possession. Something you talked about, Gregan, being so vital.
Yeah, he just took a touch. He noticed that Mogdus and Metzenarius had been involved in a play very recently. The ball popped into their half very quickly, so he wasted time keeping that ball close to his car so that if anyone did try and challenge, he would at least pop it away from the goal.
Flame up for this one, challenging with Flarky. Difficult sentence to say when you've got 2 people sounding so similar. Mogdus going to be picking that boost up, looking to push the ball in towards the Prophecy goal. Does go for the dribble here. Can he finish? No, Mogdus cannot make something happen for his squad there, but fantastic individual attempt then from him. Flarky pushing that one back in. Mogdus going to be here as well. No one in net, but shot is not good. Hello's going to be there to clear it away from Prophecy.
Yeah, so Mogdus, when he dribbled it across the goal there, I don't think he ever intended to score. He just drew a player out, went and collected the boost from the opposite corner, and left Mummy Snow on a journey to try and find some. And that meant that the net was completely empty for just a short period of time. And it's something you might not see just as the general spectator, but watch for any player. Like Metzenarius is probably going to do it now. He just missed out on that boost, but he drove via that corner to potentially try and collect it. And that is a part of offense, not a scoring, but boost starving.
We saw how important boost starvation can be, especially after creating opportunity after opportunity. It becomes so much more difficult to defend. Hello here back on the rotation. We see Metzenarius is pushing that one across goal with Roy's right across goal, and Mogdus is going to be there. Another goal for Mogdus here. Method up 2-0. This man, he's got his shooting wheels on today, Gregan.
Look at Flarky, boost starved, simple as that.
It's almost as if we set that up, wasn't it?
It did, yeah. He jumped across the net, tried to use his flip to get close to the ball, but judging your movement by dodging is very tough. So he was in a sticky situation back there with no boost, and it was Method who came out the victor, finding that gap there.
Method once again looking commanding in this game. They have looked far more solid in this game than the previous one. They're going to be pushing this ball towards the Prophecy goal.
Oh,
yeah, no, the fake from Metzenarius. finds another goal here for Method. Break this one down for us here, Gregan.
You just knew Flarkey was coming across, completely baited him out. And do you know what was so important there? Is that ball rolled down off of the wall, came out a little bit of a distance from the goal, and then Metzer hiding behind that ball, waited for Flarkey to dive, and then had that small window of opportunity before the last player on Prophecy came.
Oh, and Flame getting involved now for his squad. That's going to be 4-0. Method are heating up right now. 4-0, Prophecy. They're on the back of a beating right now.
Mummy Snow just not expecting the possibility of that shot ever going in. Flame chips it up to a near impossible angle, backs himself, sends it in towards the goal, and not only was the angle amazing, but he connected with that ball so cleanly. Method just making this game near impossible for Prophecy to come back from.
Every single player here on Method is stepping up at this point. Prophecy have got to feel heartbroken at this point as well. Shot comes in again from Method. It's all Method right now. Prophecy can barely get into the blue half. Flarkey trying to make something happen here. The ball is going to be free. There's no one in there, but here comes Flame to just make sure they keep that clean sheet intact. The pass comes across from Flame was arriving, but couldn't quite get there in time. Mongus is going to be up again. The ball is going to be cleared though. But Prophecy at this point, they look like a broken team. Method look like a team who are going to get their first win on the board here in the Elite Series with 44 seconds left, Gregan. This is looking like GG's to me.
It is indeed. And it must be tough to carry on playing right now for Prophecy, knowing that they're so far away from ever going to be able to come back to this. And for Method, they're just having fun right now. They're seeing space. They're trying to score beautiful goals for us to entertain us here. But that is going to be 4-0 this game, maybe another one at the end, but it won't matter as this is going to be game and match for Method, putting them 2-1 in the series.
Air dribble there, trying to finish this one off with a little flashy play for us, as you say, Greg, and trying to entertain everyone here in the arena. Everyone at home, 5 seconds left on the clock though. It is going to be Method who are going to take the series eventually. There it is, Method are going to take the series 3-1. With a 4-0 win at the end. This is the Method we were expecting in week 1.
It is.
Are they starting to come to life?
I believe so. I mean, without a lot as well. He is the starting main, but Flame came in and did a brilliant performance, filling in there. Magnus and Metz Norris, the typical players we expect from them. So fast. We said the word over and over again, aggression.
Aggression.
We could say it as many times as we want.
Ruthless aggression.
Ruthless aggression from Method. And Prophecy at moments had that kind of intensity, but it was just for a brief lapse in those last 2 games at the beginning that they got behind, and it was very tough for them to come back.
We really saw Method cut. We've talked about Method, how this is a new environment for them. You know, they're not a LAN practice team, but 3 weeks in, and especially in that final game there, that game 4, we really saw them starting to click the passing plays, the individual plays. Is it a case now where they're getting comfortable, and does that make them a scary prospect going into these weeks coming up? Yeah,
I mentioned it last week that playing against Infuse so early on was a great sign for Infuse because they weren't quite ready to perform on this stage. But as every week goes forward, we're going to see a stronger and stronger Method, and today was just a small sign of what we're going to see in the future.
Well, that was a fantastic series. We've got everything still to play for. We've got 2 more games to come. It was, of course, Method taking that series. We're going to go to a quick break. Do not go anywhere.